Welcome back to the second video for this week's project. In this video, I'll be covering the remaining steps for project 6 and 7. Let's pick up where we left off with project 6 at step 7. It's part A is asking us to select cells A4 to H50 and then click the short button. There's A4. And then to find the short button, just go to data and then click the short function there. Part B is asking it to sort it by product, ascending order. Hit OK. Part C is asking us to select cell L16, so let me zoom in a little bit. And then I need to use the horizontal scroll bar to see my L16. Click on the recently used button and choose some ifs. So that's a helpful feature. So let's go to formula, recently used, and then select. We want to select cells E40 to E50 for the sum argument or sum range argument. So I'm just going to type this one in. In the criteria range one box, we want it to D4 to D50. Criteria one box equal. The equal sign as a criteria finds blank cells. Okay. The criteria range two box is F4, F50. In the criteria two box, once again, we're going to use the equal sign. And if I click on the cell above it, it should say 26. So if I zoom in, this is the value you need to have in your sum ifs arguments, and then you know you did it right when the formula result is 26. Okay. Step 8 is asking us to prepare the criteria sheet for a database function. So we want to go to the satisfaction survey, which is first sheet. Review it, look at the data. So we have the products we're focusing on is rugged hiking boots, comfy walking shoes, lazy flip-flops, seriously tall boots, glide running shoes. And so, okay, we did that. Part B, select cells A4 to G40, A4. And then we want to name this range as survey. So I'm going to type in survey and hit enter. Click on the criteria sheet tab. And then what we're going to do here is just setting up, I guess acronyms for the different products. So you notice rug star, it's basically short for rugged hiking boots. And then we're going to be entering com star, laze star, sur star, um, glide star. They're just different type of boots, right? Comfy shoes, lazy shoes, seriously, what is it? Seriously tall boots, and then glide running shoes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and start entering those acronym values. And so in cell A2, we're going to type in rug star, and then we're going to repeat this for the rest of the product categories. We're going to be creating a database for them. So A5, we're going to type in comstar, A8, laze star, A11, sur star, A14, glide star. Step 9 is asking us to use d-average to summarize customer survey data. So let's go to the average rating sheet, which is the second one, and select cell B5 here. I'm going to go to insert functions. And then we want to, if we were not, right now we're on set, the category set to most recently used. We want to go to database. And that's where d-average is. That's part A, B, and C, and D. Now we want to, in a database, we want to hit F3 on your keyboard. and then select survey. Now, if you're on a laptop, most likely you're going to have to hold function F3. That's what that FN stands for. Anyways, and hit OK. So database is survey. Part F is asking us to click on the field box, and then make it a mixed reference. So for B4. So I'm going to hit F4 twice. So you notice there's only $1 that's there. In the criteria box, we want to click on the criteria sheet tab. Makes sense. And then we want to select A1 to A2. Okay. And then we want to make the references absolute. So I'm going to select A1 and A2 and hit F4. And let me go ahead and click out. Um, you know you did it right when you have 775 as your output value. So don't worry about this right now. We'll take care of that later. Um, so just focus on the formula result for this part and then just hit OK. And then you notice it's 775 for that's the average rating for comfort for rugged hiking boots. Part F, part G. So part I is asking us to copy the formula in cell B5 to cell C5 to D5. So here's B5 and then D5 is here. Okay, so hover over the fill handle, click, and then drag it to D5. All right. Step 10 is asking us to copy and edit the formulas. So select B5 again, and then we want to copy it to B6 to B9. Since it's down the column, I'm just going to hover over the fill handle, double click. And you notice when all the values are the same, it kind of gives you a hint there's an error in the formula, and you kind of saw earlier where the error is. So part B is asking us to select cell B6 and then click the insert function. And then we want to go to the criteria because it gives you a hint that the value is incorrect. So we need to update the value manually, and then the value needs to be over um, for the comfy shoe product category. So we need to update the number so it's A4 to A5, and then the results should be 7.5, and then click OK. And then we can ignore the error. It's just telling us that it's not matching the formula above it. So we need to do the same thing for lazy flip-flop shoes. So click on B7, go to insert function, go to the criterion, update um, A1, so it's A7 and A8, okay, which is the comfy product cells, and it's to say 4.9. And so we're going to need to do this again for seriously tall boots and glide running shoes. So edit the criteria arguments for B8 and B9. So click on B8, click on insert function, click on criteria, and then update so that instead of A1 it's A10 and it's A11, and the value should be 6.6666. Okay. And then I need to do the B9 now, insert function, click on criteria, and then update that so it's B813 to A14. And your value needs to say 9.16666. B5 to B9, and then copy it so it reaches column D. Select cells E5 to E9, and then I need to click on the auto sum arrow and then drop down arrow. So let me zoom in and then select average. that completes the part J. And then now we want to, for step 11, create a ifs function. So select cell F5. And then we want to click on the logical button. So which is the question mark here. And then click the drop down and look for ifs. And then for the first one, logical test 1, we want to, we don't need to select E5. I'm going to type this in. E5 is greater than or equal to 9. So just make sure when you enter these values, at the end of it, you get this above average as the formula result. So yeah, let's move on. Part B is asking the, let's see here. Actually, I did part B. Part C is what I'm at now. Value of true 1 is H5. And we want to make the reference absolute. And then for logical test 2, we want to type in E5 is greater than or equal to 8. Value if true 2 is H6, that absolute. Logical test 3, it's going to be E5 is less than or equal to 5. And then click the down scroll arrow to review the next value box. I want to click it twice because I want to see true 3 and true 4. So I'm going in order to see the down arrow, um, down scroll arrow, you have to kind of hover over the, right now, when your pointer's not over the scroll bar, you don't see the down arrow, but when you do, when you hover over the scroll bar, the down arrow shows up. So I'm going to click it twice. For if true 3, I'm going to type in H7 and make that absolute. And then for logical test 4, it's E5 is less than 5. Oh, I guess I need to scroll down one more time. Yep, I need to scroll down one more time. If true 4 needs to be H8, which is going to be also absolute reference. And if I click, right, so I know I did it right because the formula result is equal to above average. I'm going to hit OK. And then it wants us to copy the formula to complete the column. So once, select a cell, hover over the fill handle, double click um, to copy the formula down the column. And then it wants us to auto-fit column F. So just hover over between F and G, double click there, and then that auto-fits it. All right, so looks like I'm done. So save and close. So for me, I'm just going to save as something else. Demo. I'm going to close it. All right. And then upload and submit for grading. So scroll back to the top, um, demo. Hopefully I get 100% for this one. All right, so I got 100% for this submission. Let's go ahead and move on to project 7. For project 7, step 7, it wants us to use the index formula to display the agent's name. So right now we want to make sure that H23 is active. Yep, H23 is active. So, and part B is asking us to click the lookup and reference button. So it's in the formula tab. And this lookup and reference is the search icon. And then choose index for the dropdown. And go with the first argument. In the array box, we want to click the agent sheet tab and select A2 to A7. So we want to go to agent A2 to A7. So So we just want the first name, I guess. Yeah. And then in the roll number box, we want to select cell H22, or just type in H22. And we don't need to worry about the column number, and then hit OK. But yeah, we got the agent first name. And then center it. So go to center. And then now he wants us to turn off the grid line. So go to view, show, and turn off grid lines. For step 8, it wants us to protect the worksheet for data entry. So we want to go to find and select button, the home, find and select, and choose data validation. Now we want to add more cells to protect. So we want to select D4. There's D4, E22, 22 and 23. And it wants us to protect E current payment empty, which is currently empty right now. And then once part C is asking us to click the format button, cells, and then click on format. And then we want to select the lock cells to remove the lock property. Okay. So that's, then we're going to check those off. Delete the cells in C9 to C10. Part F is asking us to select cell D4 to position the insertion point on the worksheet. Here's D4. Then it wants us to click the protect sheet button. So go to review and the protect sheet button right here. And select protect sheet. The dialog box up here, it wants us to allow or check the options for select lock cells and select unlock cells. Don't need a password, so I just hit OK. That takes care of step 8. Step 9 is asking us to select cell C9 and then type in 450,000 and then C10, type in 275,000. In H9, which is here, margin 85,000. And in cell H11, which is this one, 75,000. Enter the data in H13, 14, and H16 as shown in this figure below. But once again, they use a low quality screenshot. So it does make it hard to kind of see what those values are. But I'll just go ahead and show it to you on this other side here. So in H13, for the loan term is going to be 30. 14, the interest rate is 3.5%. So it's not, actually no, it's 3.15%. Okay. And then H16, which is here, we want to input 1,200. And you know you did it right when you have the new house payment value set. It's shown as $2,209.88, which matches the screenshot in part 13. Um, for step 14 is this good, it's asking us to try out that button we created earlier. So they call it spin box control. So we want to click, I guess, up, yeah, until it's, uh, agent ID 3 is shown, which is Burgess. Okay. Then it wants us to remove the developer tab. Okay. So if you remember, the developer tab is accessible in the file. And then if you look all the way down, is the options button at the bottom. Go to customize ribbon, scroll down, and then uncheck the developer box. And you notice the developer tab went away. And now he wants us to save and close the workbook. So file, I'm, I'm gonna rename it, but you don't need to. And then I'm gonna close it. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and submit it for grading. All right, I got 100%. So, yeah, this week I think is a little bit easier compared to last week. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a good grade as well.